I have made a lot of dumb decisions in my lifetime, and I'm not proud of any of them. In today's video, I'm going to show you a bunch of dumb decisions that I have made that have cost me a lot of money, a lot of pain, so you don't have to. We're starting right now. This is the biggest mistake I've made and the most costly right here. Hopefully I don't get hurt today. I'm trying to show you all the things I've screwed up. All right. So right now I'm up here on top of the patio cover that I built back in 2009. I spent $6,000 building this thing and I didn't finish it properly. And that's why it looks like this. Ruined. I didn't finish the roof. I spent $6,000 on lumber and didn't finish it. I procrastinated. 2009. How many years is that? Exactly. So if you want to see me or be a part of this build, me tear this thing apart, let me know in the comments and I'll make you a part of it. I'll get it done eventually. This is probably one of my biggest mistakes that I ever made right here. And I'm sharing with you. And it hurts my pride to do so, but what the hell. If you could learn something from this, go for it. Golf ball. I'm a really bad golfer coming from right over there. Tiles up here because I had plastic up here for one season. That didn't work out too good. All right, let me get off this patio cover, step onto this ladder and show you another stupid decision I made from the top of a ladder. About 30 years ago, I was on top of a ladder on a job. And for some stupid reason, I decided to jump off a ladder and it caused a lot of pain. I've jumped off many ladders, mostly when they're falling, so I could save myself. But this ladder was stationary and I jumped off and landed on this. 16 penny nail through a 1x. This nail went clean through my foot, right about here. Right here. I should rename my channel, Procrastinate with Mooney. Let's go back into the shop. I have a bunch more stupid stuff to show you that I've done. This dumb decision is brought to you by me and my old miter saw. I was barbecuing ribs just like I was the other day, and I had a chunk of apple wood and I wanted some pieces off it to smoke the wood, right? And so instead of going to the hammer in the floor like this, I came over to the miter saw and I knew it was dangerous and I did it anyways. It was one of the dumbest things I've ever done and it hurt like hell. Let me show you. Come on, you didn't think I was stupid 2 times in a row? No. So I had this piece of wood right here, and this is a 4x4, but it was a real chunky piece of wood, and I was trying to hold it as steady as I could. I'm not going to cut it. I brought this down, and when it cut and grabbed that piece of wood, it threw this piece of wood, threw it up like this, and it shattered. And when it shattered, I felt it hit my hand and it went flinging away. And as soon as it went bam, right, it scared me. And I was afraid to look at my hand. I had it down here by my side. And I just did it real fast. I went like this. And I'm like, okay, I got all my fingers, right? And I was scared as hell. And but it hurt really bad. It felt like I broke a couple fingers. I don't know if I did. I never went to the doctor. It just hurt for a few weeks. So when this chunk of wood hit the back of this fence right here, it cracked this tire aluminum cast fence on my rigid saw. Totally ruined the fence. And I was very thankful that nothing happened to this hand. I've had worse accidents, and I'll show you in a minute. This one was, it felt like the worst to me, even though it wasn't as gory as one of the ones I'm going to show you. I've ripped thousands of board feet just like this with this skill saw out in the field. But the problem with ripping it like this is the transition, switching your hands from here to here. I've seen this crawl up more people's arms and legs and send them to the hospital. Let me show you. When we would get to this point, we would switch it like this. And this is where people would get in trouble. This is dangerous. I don't do this anymore because this saw right here in your thumb this thing will climb back up and get your thumb. I've seen it done. So what's the safest way to do this? Is to get a couple sawhorses or even a couple blocks, put them on the ground. Let me show you how easy this saw will want to come back and kick back on you and climb up your thumb. There you go. That's exactly what you don't want to happen. The one thing you never want to do is really dangerous. Trust me from experience. Taking over your wife's project. I've done it many times. The last time I did it was right here in this video. Never again. Painter's tape. Have you ever had this happen? It happens to me all the time because I haven't learned my lesson. It gets about 130 degrees in this garage in the summertime, and it ruins rolls of tape. I started putting them in the laundry room. I have some tape in there, and let me show you the difference. So I started keeping it in here because it's climate controlled, and this is a brand new roll. Let's open this up and see if it's damaged also. Let's see. Nope. See, I must have left it out in the garage before I put it in here. Let's see. So I still haven't learned. So wasting money. This disc sander works great, but it only works great on the left side of the wheel. You get a board over here while it's spinning. I've had a board actually come up and hit me right in the face. This disc sander right here has been more dangerous than my table saw. This was one of my dumber mistakes, was putting this 2-inch flush trim bit, look at this thing, in a trim router, and thought I was going to make some patterns, some corbels out of some redwood. It didn't happen. There's too much material for this thing to bite, and this thing came flying out of my hand. It was a rigid, not a DeWalt, a rigid corded. It came flying out of my hand because this bit too much material, and it was the end of that router. It actually burned up the router, the motor. And so that was probably the last time I put something like this in this trim router until right now. That's why I made a switch to spiral bits or compression bits. They're not as aggressive, and they grab the wood in different directions, and it makes a smoother cut and a smoother transition into the wood. So no more of this. The year was 1992, just got out of the service, back into construction. Working on these condos, I was up in the attic, in the 2-story condos. Superintendent had us go up there. I had to remove a block up here. I was up here beating a block out of between the trusses, had to be removed for inspection. I was hitting this block. I hit it, it bounced off the block, off the truss, and the hammer came down right here. Bam. Took out 2 front teeth. That one was a bloody mess. Teeth shattered, just splintered all the way down, both teeth, lip, everything. And that was a hot mess right there. That sucked. So, lesson learned, don't stop the hammer with your face. I just moved this towel bar, and I had to make some repairs and some texture match. I just did this like 4 weeks ago. Have you ever finished a project and spent hours, if not weeks on it, and then drop a tool on it and dent your project? That sucks. I've done it several times right before I shipped them out all over the country. And a household iron and some wet paper towels will fix that problem. This is one problem I still have. I'm way too comfortable on the top step of a ladder. And I'm usually up here a couple times a year hanging something up here. Maybe I should get a bigger ladder. What do you think? If you value your life, don't close a door like this while someone's sleeping. Close it like this. Turn the handle. I've made a lot of dumb mistakes and I've made a lot of dumb decisions, as you could see. But the dumbest thing I've ever seen at a table saw was a man cutting off his finger for disregarding all the rules. And I'll show you real table saw safety right here. And I still need to fix this, this, and this, and this.